Hey everyone, good evening. How is everyone doing? Sorry, my puppy was in the office and I thought she was going to hang out with us. And hey Darnell, how's it going? Yeah, lights, camera, action. And I'm on time actually. No, but my puppy was in here and I thought she was going to hang out with us. And then I got my water and then she wasn't here. So I'm like, oh, let me check on her before I come on. So if you are just joining us, definitely put any questions that you have in the chat and I will be more than happy to answer it. Obviously, I don't know everything regarding this new bill. So I'll get to a couple questions and I'll kind of give you a status of what's going on. It's crazy. Every day you turn around, just when you think it's good news. I mean, it is good news because they're extending unemployment, hopefully. But then as the days go on, it's like shrinking and shrinking and shrinking. Anyway, I'll get into all that. Brad, what happened to your glass of water? It was here. I mean, this isn't the same one. This is new for today. But yeah, I drink water consistently, and especially when I talk a lot, I should drink more. Plus with the heat on, it's so dry. And so, yeah, I just have to remember to actually drink water. Okay, Chai6868 wants to know, can you say something about extended benefits unemployment? I think people are confused about that. And you know what? They have every right to be confused about extended benefits. Okay, so typically you're laid off from work and you apply for regular unemployment. Now, extended benefits has nothing to do with PUA. So those of you that are on PUA right now, don't even worry about what I'm saying. Extended benefits doesn't apply to you. So you're laid off from work. You apply for regular unemployment. That goes up to 6 months, depending on the state. Different states offer different months, whatever. Now, because of the pandemic, Congress, what's the word I'm trying to say? They created PEUC. So after you're done regular unemployment, you get placed on PEUC, which is actually like a federal program. So it's funded by the federal government as opposed to the state government. So after you exhaust your 13 weeks of PEUC, it could be different depending on the state, but it's up to 13 weeks. Then comes extended benefits, or EB, or if you live in California, it's called Fed ED. So what that is, if the unemployment rate for your specific state gets high enough, then what they do is turn on this extended benefits program. And it's not a simple like, hey, if the state reaches 8%, we're automatically going to flip the switch to extended benefits. And it's like a calculation. And of course, it has to be different depending on the state. And some states automatically have a threshold turned on, whereas other ones don't. Anyway, that doesn't matter. So after you exhaust your PEUC, if your state participates and they have extended benefits turned on, then you could receive additional weeks of unemployment after you exhaust PEUC. Now, there are, like I said, not every state is participating in extended benefits. So real quickly, I can read you the states that are doing that right now. So the following weeks, or the following states are offering 20 weeks of extended benefits. So that means if you've exhausted PEUC, the unemployment office should should somehow communicate with you, hopefully by mail and email, but who knows. So these states offer 20 weeks of extended benefits. Again, this is a program after you've exhausted PEUC. So these states offer 20 weeks. Delaware, Washington, D.C., Illinois, Massachusetts, Michigan, Nevada, New Jersey, New York, Rhode Island. These states offer 13 weeks. Alaska, California, Connecticut, Georgia, Hawaii, Louisiana, Minnesota, Mississippi, New Mexico, Ohio, Oregon, Pennsylvania, Puerto Rico, Texas, Washington State, Vermont, and the Virgin Islands. Now, North Carolina does offer extended benefits, but that is only for 6 weeks. So hopefully that clears that up. No, Darnell, actually, that's part of the stimulus check. They're really pushing for that. Now, the reason why Bernie is pushing so hard for it is because he doesn't trust that Biden will give stimulus checks when Biden takes office next year. That's what I read today. So that's why there's such a push. And he is fighting hard to the point that it's like, it's getting heated, supposedly. Tina says, what's with not giving us unemployment stimulus money? Well, okay, so I believe that they will pass something. Unfortunately, tomorrow night at midnight is technically when the government has to shut down. So what they're going to do tomorrow is they have to pass a bill to keep the government open for a couple days. I don't understand all that stuff, but whatever. Because obviously we need these guys to keep working so they can get this deal done. So unfortunately, the bill that I thought would definitely be in by this weekend, it looks like it could be this weekend, but I wouldn't be surprised if it is delayed a couple days because they're really ironing out these details because they do want to provide some people stimulus checks. They definitely want to extend unemployment. I'll obviously get in those details in a little bit. Brandon says, what happens right now after the 26th? I only have 1 week of benefits left, and I don't know what happens after. Sorry, had a computer thing going. Okay. So it depends on the program that you're on. If you are on PUA, unfortunately, there's no other programs for you. However, if you are in PEUC, then if your state allows extended benefits, then you could qualify for extended benefits, but hopefully they will just extend and we won't have to worry about any of this stuff. Gary says, California here, exhausted regular UI and PEUC. Will I qualify for Fed Ed with the boost if it passes, if that makes any sense? So yeah, apparently I didn't realize for Fed Ed, but there is some sort of calculation that you have to meet in order to be qualified for Fed Ed. Now, again, states could have different rules. So for people outside of California, your states may not have that calculation. So what would happen is if they don't pass anything, well, actually, okay, so you already exhausted. So you should be on Fed Ed now as long as you qualify. Now, what I'm hoping that would happen is once for everyone that's on either Fed Ed or extended benefits that was previously on PEUC, what I'm hoping would happen is then they would revert back onto PEUC because it is a federally funded program. But until we know the details of the bill, I'm not sure. So if no bill passes, then if you are qualified for Fed Ed, then you would start collecting that. John says, if I exhausted all my benefits this month, will I get the $300? So actually, yeah, that's probably a good time to get into some of the updates because I will be touching on that. Tina says in California, they're filing federal extensions on our behalf. We don't need to do anything. Awesome. That's very helpful. Okay, so let me just give you guys a quick update. Since we are talking about what the heck is going on, right? Okay. So first and foremost, 1.4 million people apply for unemployment. That includes regular unemployment as well as PUA last week. So obviously, I think last week was 850,000. So unemployment rate is going up, which not that it's a good thing. Obviously, it's not. But especially before the holidays, it's really creating a case on why they need to extend unemployment. So as it stands now, and I got this information from a reporter from the Washington Post, but I did verify it with other websites because I know some people may not like the Washington Post, whatever. Anyway, okay, so the way it is now, oh my God. So the extra 3 weeks or the extra 300 that you're probably talking about is right now as it stands in the bill. Previously, as of like a couple of days ago, they were going to extend PEUC and PUA for 16 weeks. However, as of today, as of like 4 o'clock when I was doing this research, right now, it looks like it's from January to March. Now, there's no retro payment whatsoever in the cards. Biden says he wants to do retro. We'll see what happens when he gets into office. Now, there was talk, and there is talk, and I do believe this is going to happen, of an extra $300 boost in unemployment. So on top of whatever you're receiving for your state benefits, and this includes people that are on regular unemployment, PEUC, PUA, extended benefits, whatever program you're on, you would receive an extra $300 a week, but that would start in January. And again, of course, we have to qualify for these unemployment extensions, which I'm sure hopefully won't be a problem. Now, as of last night, the $300 boost was going to be for the full length of the extension of PUA and PEUC. However, it looks like they've decreased the $300 boost to only 10 weeks. Because I think the way it turns out is they would extend PUA and PEUC technically for 13 weeks. Because I think maybe there's an extra week in maybe March or something. I don't know. So it's 3 months, 13 weeks, but for only 10 of those weeks, we would receive a $300 boost. Again, this is money on top of what you'd be receiving on your state benefits. Now, and again, this is not retroactive. Now, what I learned today, and this is not cool, is it will work the same as LWA payments in that, unfortunately, and I really hate saying this right now, people that earn less than $100 on state unemployments may not get this extra $300 boost. I don't know the reason behind it. I think if anyone deserves it, it would be those people, which I can't even wrap my head around it. So again, nothing's in stone. That's what the Republicans are fighting for. The Democrats, obviously, they don't want that to happen that way. Hopefully, if I'm getting my notes right, I'm kind of jumping around here. So that's the status of unemployment. Now, for the stimulus check, as of now, they're looking at $600 per adult and per child. And the income cap, well, not really a cap, but your income would, if you make more than $75,000, or if you're a couple making more than $150,000, then that $600 would eventually phase out, depending on how much money you make. Now, what's different is adult children, so like kids in college that are dependents, they will receive the $600. I guess in the CARES Act, they didn't receive the $600. All my kids are under 18, so I wouldn't know that specific detail, but that is what I'm reading. So that's what they're talking about for stimulus checks. They are looking to hopefully vote on Saturday, but like I said, who knows when they finally get to it. And I just want to check just to make sure I covered all the updates I wanted to. Yeah, I think that's about it. Okay, so I'll get back to questions. Just got to figure out where I am. Lizzie says, thought you weren't making a video. Been looking for the life for about 10 minutes. Anyway, hey, what's new besides the country not caring about us? Yeah, I try to do a video every single morning. It usually gets published like 9 or 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time in the morning. And then obviously I'm here at night. Mike says, with the checks ending on 12/26, will a person on unemployment miss the beat with the bill? So that's a great question, Mike. I'm hoping, and I would imagine, because they are calling this an extension. So I would hope that if you were previously on PEUC and it expired, you would then roll back onto PEUC, vice versa for PUA, right? Now, obviously, it gets a little tricky. What if you're someone that exhausted PEUC and extended benefits, which is my family situation? You know, where do I go on the picture? You know, so yeah, I will definitely look out for those details because, like I said, it affects my family too. So I have to know what's going on. So yeah, those little details I will definitely let you guys know when I know. Is New York included? Yeah, this applies. The PEUC and PUA extension applies for every state in the United States. Brad says now they're talking about cutting it down for 10 weeks now. Yep. $300 extended. Yes. Yeah, I did get a chance to look at Steve Ram's video, but yeah, I got this from the Washington Post. I've been following them pretty religiously, but yeah, I'm sure he talked about it too because that is not a good update. But I'm confident in that. Biden says he's going to take care of things, so let's just hope that actually happens. So, Lizzie, yeah. Unemployment is actually it went from 16 weeks down to like 13 weeks. And then if I'm not mistaken, the $300 is only for 10 weeks. Ernest says, my last day of PEUC in California is the 21st. So after that, you'll be notified by unemployment if you are eligible for Fed Ed, but hopefully they will extend a bill. Well, I guess actually, so you might be on Fed Ed for maybe a week or two. And then hopefully if they extend a bill, then hopefully you'll move back onto PEUC. And again, I'll find out all those details. Lizzie, yeah, you're right. It is ridiculous. It's, oh my gosh. This is when we first, when this whole thing happened, I mean, you guys know you're living it just like I am with this whole unemployment. It was a full-time job to figure out what in the heck was going on with our situation. And then, I mean, I feel your pain. I was in your struggles, and I work full-time. I mean, obviously we're home now, but so it's like in the mornings I'd be researching unemployment. At lunchtime I'd be researching unemployment. At night it's like trying to find out all these little details that, and then after you figure out what program you're on, there's an issue with your claim, and then you have to go. It's crazy. Mike says, I'm almost done with my unemployment, traditional unemployment. I'm at 0 on January 3rd. What happens next? So Mike, hopefully, and thank you for being here as always. So hopefully if they do extend PEUC, then you would automatically just transition to PEUC. Hopefully that'll be an easy transition for you. However, if they don't, then you would get notice from California Unemployment to notify you if you are eligible for Fed Ed. Oh, and let me just take, I didn't specify this, extended benefits or Fed Ed. It's the same thing. It's just Fed Ed. California calls it Fed Ed, whereas I believe every other state calls it extended benefits. The state can retract that at any time. So they could literally, and they've done this to, I think, Colorado and a couple other states, maybe Vermont too. They literally told their claimants that week, hey, by the way, this is the last week you're getting paid extended benefits. Pennsylvania is good, I guess, in a sense, because they, at least in Pennsylvania, they give you a 3 weeks notice. So again, states do different things depending on the state. So I just wanted to make that little disclaimer for extended benefits. Just because you go on it doesn't mean you will collect for the full amount that you initially were approved for. So hopefully that makes sense. Awesome videos. Thank you. Hold on. I want to call you out because you said thank you, but I lost, where am I? Sorry, I lost the chat. SMH, thank you. I appreciate that. Did something get passed? Pony, not yet. Hopefully this weekend. If not, they're definitely going to pass something before Christmas. I don't know when you joined, but unemployment, 1.4 million people applied for unemployment last week. So they have to do something. But I will keep you updated. I'm sure, as well as other YouTubers out there, right? Melinda, thanks for cleaning that up. Yeah, hopefully that made sense. No, they did not vote on a bill yet. Yvette, can I get PUA after I exhaust PEUC? So great question. And first, if you exhaust PEUC, you have to find out if your state offers extended benefits. If they do, you have to see if you qualify. And if you do, then you would then stay on extended benefits. However, if you don't qualify for extended benefits, or if your state doesn't offer it, then yes, you have every right to apply for PUA. Gary says, watching this while eating garlic fried rice with 8 pieces of lumpia. That's awesome. I love that. Trust me, if I wasn't actually talking, I'd be eating during this too. Ernest, nothing is going to pass. They would have done it months ago. Yeah, they definitely dragged their feet on this, and there should be some serious consequences because we all know what's going on. There are people that are suffering horribly out there, but they have to. I mean, otherwise, this is just going to get really crazy. All right, let's just, sorry, I am hiding someone. Wiley, what did I miss? You probably heard everything because I know there's been a while. I know I'm like way behind on chat, so hopefully you heard everything. Did Kentucky, hey Nancy, how are you? Thanks for being here. Mitch says, did Kentucky get an extension? Not yet. We're waiting for a bill to see if they extend PEUC as well as PUA. Will LWA be extended? So Ms. K, they're not calling it LWA. LWA was like a special circumstance. Actually, President Trump did an executive order to get the LWA payments. So it's called FPUC. It's a pandemic federal something, unemployment something. And right now, as it stands, if they extend PUA and PEUC, then everyone on unemployment whether you're on those programs or regular unemployment, would receive an extra $300 weekly boost on top of their state benefits. Diane says, if Republicans win Georgia, there'll be no survival stimulus in 2021. Another reason Bernie is fighting hard to get every single thing he can. Absolutely. Yeah. And Bernie, I don't know if you were on, but yeah, there's that. And he doesn't trust that Biden will actually provide a stimulus check. So yeah, good call on that, Diane. Ernest, I don't want to be negative, but we need to just focus on ourselves because the government isn't going to help anymore. No, I mean, obviously, first and foremost, we always have to look out for number one, right? Which is ourselves. Some people don't have that option right now. You know, some people are really in a terrible place. They've exhausted their savings because who would have thought this would have happened, right? And for this amount of time. So I got what you're saying. Brad says they're now talking about cutting $300 to 10 weeks instead of 13 weeks. Yep. Immortal Gemini. Hopefully we get a draft tonight. Yeah, hopefully. I know. That'd be nice. Jimmy, yeah, you're right. They have to pass something. Otherwise, there's going to be some major riots for sure. Sherm the trainer. I'm currently on PUA. Will I be extended? So if the bill passes, then yes, PUA and PUC will be extended. Tin Man, after the 26th, when in January can I sign up for PUC? That's a great question. We have to figure out how all of this is going to work because there's so many different scenarios. There's those that are going to be still on PUC, like, I don't know if, I think you exhausted PUC, Tin Man. But there's going to be, do we have to reapply? Do we have to, or maybe we just keep certifying? Is that okay? So, and I'm sure different, states are going to have their different rules around this. So until we get the details, I'm not quite sure what the process is to sign up for PEUC right now, but I will definitely get that information. Wiley says, I'm in Ohio and only have 3 weeks left. Did you hear anything yet? Unfortunately, no. But they're going to pass something before Christmas. Without a doubt. I mean, they have to. Terry says, hi. Hey. Tim, do you know anything about Pennsylvania's pending state stimulus checks? I'm from the Berg. Go Steelers. Were you not here when I had my Eagles shirt on? No. Just kidding. So I have not heard about state stimulus checks. I've done a little bit of research on it. I've had, I think it was Kelly talking about it in the live stream, maybe last week. I haven't heard anything, but I need to do more research. It has been a couple days, but I hadn't heard anything. What is Biden going to do? Supposedly, and again, this is not from my head. This is from what, he was saying is, supposedly they're looking at this stimulus package as a down payment, he kept saying. So Democrats at this point are looking to pass anything because once Biden gets in the office, then he'll pass this major package. Now, I did read a while ago, a couple weeks ago, of what, like, if Biden had the power, his proposed bill that he would want to pass, and it was in the bill said that unemployment would be extended for most of 2021 and like other things. I did a video about it if you wanted to check it out. But, but how many Congress people have we heard say a lot of things that didn't happen? And I don't want to say that he will or won't or whatever. I'm trying to stay neutral, but just giving you what he had said in the past. I do believe that the Democrats do want something big. based on Nancy Pelosi's, I don't even, what was it, 2 point something trillion bill, you know. What about Florida PUA? It's the same as everywhere else. We're waiting for a bill to pass. What about people's credit score? Not sure what you're asking, Melinda. But obviously, if people are behind on their bills, their credit score is going to be affected, which is not fair. Joseph says, a lot of people are confusing extended benefits programs and extended benefits weeks allowed. Can you differentiate for those getting confused? That's a great question. So extended benefits program is a program that comes after you've exhausted PEUC. And yeah, okay, so we'll just leave it at that. So extended benefits program is literally a program just like PEUC. You just may not get the same amount of weeks as you did when you were on PEUC. And extending benefits weeks allowed, that might be the number of weeks you might be able to, the number of weeks that you're qualified to receive money, maybe. And I think what makes it hard is every state could have their different verbiage. So hopefully, Joseph, that makes sense. That would, again, I'm not 100% sure, but obviously extended benefits program is definitely the program after PEUC. And then the weeks allowed, in my mind, it would make me think that that's how many weeks that you qualify for that specific program. Hopefully that makes sense. Kay says, Florida PUA ends 12/26. Yes. PUA and PUC does expire at the end of the month for every state. And they are looking to hopefully pass a bill to extend it. Jimmy D says, Senator Hawley, I just wanted to say, make sure I said that right, is bringing his $1,200 stimulus amendment before the Senate tomorrow for vote up or down. Yes, and he is partnering up with Bernie in that fight. This is good news now because it should definitely pass if he does, which should force the hands. You know what? And that's the thing. Anything to make this go quicker. And it's, someone asked last night, you know, is there a specific deadline? And my answer to that is, it's because Christmas is coming up. Like, the sad thing is, if Christmas wasn't next week, would Congress be working this hard to get a deal done? I don't think they would. And that's really sad. So I'm very thankful that Christmas is next week because it's giving them this push to get something done. Reggie, Tennessee is the same as every other state. We're waiting for PEUC and PUA to be extended. This is a great question from Graphic Sign and Design. Is PEUC the same as EUC in Nevada? My account shows EUC in Nevada. I believe yes, because that's a really good question. And isn't it confusing? Like, why can't they just put PEUC? In Pennsylvania, the same, it also displays EUC. So yes. Extended benefits was like EUB or no, not EUB. It was, maybe it was, I think it was like SEB or something crazy. Like, where'd the S come from? So yeah, if you're on extended benefits, at least in Pennsylvania, it said like SEB, but PEUC did say EUC. Crazy. Hey, Kim, thanks for being here. I appreciate it. Lizzie says, if they pass the $1,200, we won't get any unemployment. No, Lizzie, actually, did I read anything on this? Unemployment will definitely still happen. The extra $1,200 would be is something that Bernie Sanders and Senator Hawley, hopefully I said that right, have been fighting for. Now, the two of them are very adamant about getting a stimulus check to the people. So as a negotiation thing, they did decide to include that in the $900 billion package, which they're looking at passing. However, it's not for $1,200. It's only for $600. Now, like Joseph said, I think, or wait, Jimmy, who said it? Yeah, Jimmy said that I guess as a separate package that they're looking to bring it to the floor. But yeah, the $1,200 shouldn't have any impact on unemployment. However, if we're looking at the bill, like I said, they are talking about, and they have talked about adding $600 stimulus. They did talk, and they're in discussions that if you are receiving the $300 a week unemployment boost, then you would not qualify for the $600 stimulus package or check. But what Jimmy's talking about is like a standalone bill, I believe, for the $1,200. Again, this could not be any more confusing. Carl says, if your last day of benefits is December 26th, will you receive a check the following week? So yeah, you should be able, well, it depends on when you file. So the December 26th, at least in Pennsylvania, it could be different depending on the ending date. But if the week ending December 26th is the last, how do I say this? The last day of the filing week. So if that's the absolute last day that you can file for that week, then, sorry, I'm like confusing myself. I'm looking at a calendar. So you have Sunday, December 20th, and then you have Saturday, December 26th. So if you file for unemployment between the 20th and 26th, then that'll be your last payment. So no matter when you file in that range, because I know in Pennsylvania, if I file on Sunday the 20th, I'll get the actual money that Wednesday, December 23rd. But if you decide to wait, so instead of maybe filing on Sunday, you file on Friday, then technically, yes, you would get paid the following week. So I just kind of wanted to make that clear. Hopefully that didn't totally confuse you. Mike says, are PUC recipients who have exhausted their benefits going to receive anything? Yes, Mike, hopefully it'll be a simple transition onto the program that you just exhausted. So if you are on PUA, you would then transition back onto PUA. Same thing for PEUC. Now, if you are, maybe you're riding out extended benefits right now, I'm not sure what's going to happen. I'm hoping that those people would then get put back on PEUC, but we don't know until we get the wording of the bill and how they want to structure it. But I will definitely get those details for you because, like I said earlier, it affects me too. So I have to know so I can know what the heck's going on with our claim. Val says, do I still try to certify my balance is zero? The website won't let me in New Jersey. So that's a good question. In some states, there is a state limitation, meaning that if you do exhaust your benefits, even if you go into file, the system won't even let you. I wouldn't even worry about it now unless, well, it depends on the program that you're on, Val. So if you have exhausted either regular unemployment, then you should be placed on PEUC. If you've exhausted PEUC, then you should be placed on extended benefits if you qualify. So if you just exhausted a program, you might see a zero balance until the state has a couple of days to set you up on the next program in line. Hopefully that makes sense. However, if you are on PUA, and your balance is zero, unfortunately, you'll have to wait until they pass a bill for you to, and because once they pass a bill, then they will fix their systems and activate whatever program you're on, change the date and all that good stuff. So I know that was you're collecting, and I'm collecting SSD. Is that Social Security, I guess? So yeah, hopefully that helps. I know that was a lot, but I wasn't sure what program you had just exhausted. So I wanted to kind of get all of them together. Lizzie says, we need 4 months of unemployment at the very least. We don't know what will happen while Biden takes office since McConnell stays the majority. Lizzie, no, you're right, because just because even if they pass this bill tonight, they're going to have to decipher these various scenarios that we've been going over for the last 40 minutes. Like each of us individually almost has maybe not all of us, but we all have different scenarios, right? So the government has to relay those rules down to the states. And until they get those rules, the states aren't able to implement anything. And yeah, so it will be a delay, even though the extension starts in January. It's going to take a couple weeks for the states to implement these changes. So, I mean, there's going to be a lapse in payments just because here it is the 17th. And then we're going to have Christmas and then the New Year. So yeah, let's just throw in a couple of holidays to delay things even more with the programs being set up. So yeah, no, you're right. We will, and then we'll need those 4 months, and then hopefully, I mean, Biden's got to start looking at this at least the beginning of February to avoid another lapse of unemployment payments. J. Ellerby, the $600 needs to come back. I could not agree more. That would be nice. I'd like to see the retro payment for that. And that's what Biden wanted, supposedly, as well as the other Democrats. And again, I don't want to say that they're better than Republicans or vice versa. I'm just telling you what they said. Kevin from Scranton is here. Hey. Okay, Charity, good. You clarified something, that in the CARES Act, only under 18 were considered to receive the stimulus check, that is so not right? Like, if anything, it'd be nice if college kids would be able to get some money, right? Timothy says, can you believe they're still doing this? Yes, I can actually. Darnell says, Kim, #1 channel. Woo! Darnell, it might just be me and you for Christmas, right? I don't know if anyone else is going to show up for Christmas. I think that was you that mentioned it yesterday. But yeah, if I'm not going to set a time for Christmas, usually there comes a time that, my kids venture off to their rooms or whatever on Christmas, but might be going live just to say, hey. Thanks, Darnell. I do appreciate that comment, though. Okay, Brad says, we're definitely getting 600 stimulus checks, not 700, not 1,200. Yeah, I'm not even sure where the $700 is even coming from. Like, when I'm reading these articles, they say $600 or $700. And the $700 might be for those that make less than a certain amount, might get an extra $100. It's like, really? $100. Anyway, David says, literally the same update every day. Yeah, just with minor. Yeah, okay, David. I read more than the Washington Post. That's just the first thing that comes to my mind. So let's get rid of David because just not liking what he's saying. And I don't want people coming on the chat just being totally negative. So there's that. Okay. Kevin says, when they pass a bill, what happens if the extension takes you past your benefit year expiration? What happens then? Oh my God, Kevin, that is an excellent question that I have neglected to talk about. So in Pennsylvania specifically, and I'm sure it's probably the same everywhere, and I've heard this on numerous town halls. Pennsylvania was doing town halls. So once a week, they would do a call to give people on unemployment updates. And I listen to every single one. So if you are in the position where your benefit year is ending, whether it's now, whether it's next year, and whether they extend PEUC, PUA, whatever, as soon as your benefit year is up, from what Pennsylvania says, you are to file unemployment all over again. So what you want to do is the day after your claim has expired, you definitely want to apply for unemployment, regular unemployment all over again. You want to do a brand new claim. Don't like reopen your existing. You want to do a brand new claim. Tim says, PA pending state stimulus check. Only heard rumors, came in late. Yeah, I did a little bit of research on that. I haven't found anything, although someone from the community did mention that. It had been a couple days since I looked, so maybe I'm missing something, which could definitely be the case. Michael says $600. I could buy a PS5, right? Thomas says, what about the double dip exclusion? Can't get a check if you're on unemployment. Yeah, so that is a thing that they're discussing, that if you are collecting the $300 unemployment boost, then you will not be given a stimulus check. However, the way that I understand, if you're a husband and wife and one of you is, or if you're married to someone, I don't want to exclude, you know what I'm saying. You have a married couple with kids. If one of them is collecting unemployment and one of them is not, then you should receive a stimulus check for the person that is not on unemployment and their children. So it only leaves out the person that's on unemployment. So that's good if you have a partner that isn't on unemployment, because if you have kids, then at least you get money for the kids. At least that is my understanding. Lots of other channels listen to David. I'm not sure who that is. Melinda says, if PUA 39 weeks have exhausted, then if they pass a bill, do you get it back? So that's what we're hoping, that they would then extend, instead of the 39 weeks, it would then extend to whatever 39 plus 13 is. Joanna says, can I know when my issue is going to be resolved? I applied back in October and haven't received anything just yet. Not sure if you're talking about a brand new unemployment claim, but bottom line, the best thing to do if you have any issues with your claims is to get in touch with unemployment. They'll be able to give you hopefully the exact issue. If it's in review, then that's been a headache for people. Joyce says, oh, wait, sorry. The thing just skipped. Holy cow, there are lots of questions. Sorry, I'm just... Okay, I think I'm here. Joyce says, I was on PUA. They suspended my claim. Haven't given me anything since executive order of $300. When I call them, they tell me it's a computer system. I live in Florida. I just have to wait. they can't give you any information, and it's been since July. That's that's ridiculous. They need to fix that, because that is just ridiculous. I don't even know what to tell you in that case. I apologize. Marcus says, just got on. How dare you be late? No, I'm totally kidding. Just got on. Are we getting the extension $300 weekly? So they are looking to pass the bill, hopefully by this weekend. If not, then they may extend it till Christmas Eve. What better thing to do? And so, long story short, they're talking about PUC, PUA being extended from January to March, which would equate to 13 weeks. And then on top of that, they would give a $300 weekly boost to anyone collecting unemployment for 10 weeks. So PEUC, PUA, they're talking about being extended for 13 weeks. But the weekly boost, they've actually decreased that to 10 weeks. And if you are someone that is collecting the $300 boost, or obviously you're on unemployment, then you may not qualify for a stimulus check. Doesn't make any sense to me. Thank you for the information. Thank you for your answers to my questions. You are welcome. Glad to help. David says, my PUC runs out on the 26th, but my account already said EB program. So how many more weeks will I get? I'm in Maryland. Your PEUC, or maybe even though PEUC expires on the 26th, it almost sounds like maybe you already exhausted PEUC. But in Maryland, Maryland pays, Maryland is not offering extended benefits right now. Now, obviously, things change by the second. So what you want to do is definitely go to Maryland's unemployment page just to make sure. This was as of, I think, 2 days ago, this information that I have. But interesting. Although I'll have to check on Maryland, because if it says EB, then I guess they offer it. But average is, let me write this down. Average is about 13 weeks. North Carolina offers 6, so it all depends on the state. Gary says, got yourself a new sub here. Thank you, Gary. Thanks for being here. I appreciate it. Chai 6868, with the surge of the virus in most states, I think unemployment may be going up, and EB will be re-triggered in most states. That's if they don't extend PEUC and PUA. Yeah, exactly, which is one of the reasons why they have to extend PEUC and PUA, because, like I said, an extra 500,000 people applied for unemployment. And I think it was around like 400,000 applied for PUA last week. So yeah, it's not getting better. And I think we'll go for another 5 minutes or so, and then I have to go to the store. Radam, I'm reading your comment right now. You're funny. Thank you for that. Hopefully that's a compliment. I don't know. Eric says, what happens once we run out of Fed Ed? So I'm assuming you're in California. And after Fed Ed, unless you're going to run out in the next week or two, then unfortunately there's nothing after Fed Ed, or in other states, they call it extended benefits. Now, in Tin Man's situation, I forget who it was. No, Kevin. In Kevin's situation, I think it was, once your benefit year has run out, or your benefit year has expired. So say you apply for unemployment on January 1st. That claim would end on December 30th. And then the day after your claim expires, you can file for regular unemployment all over again. Because if you're close to running out of Fed Ed, I'm assuming your benefit year for your claim is being close to expiring, especially because you guys collected 20 weeks in California. So I would imagine that's probably expiring soon. So that's an option for you. In fact, that's probably exactly what you should do. Whether they extend PUC or PUA or not, you should definitely apply for regular unemployment all over again. Ryland says, and now the greedy rhinos want unemployment only to have 11 weeks. Right? Like, really? I know, exactly. Andrew says, will they tell us if our PUA is exhausted and we have to refile for it again? They should definitely give you notification to let you know that PUA is, I don't know, I haven't gone through PUA. I'm supposed to be collecting it now, but I have an issue and whatever. It's just, I'm kind of playing the waiting game myself. I'm waiting for a supervisor to call me back, and it's been about a month. Unfortunately, you are not able to reapply for PUA as it stands right now. Once you've exhausted the 39 weeks of PUA, then unfortunately, that's it. You won't be able to collect anymore. So as of now, there's no other programs for you. However, if you've been, and this probably doesn't apply for most people on PUA, but I just want to throw this out there, that if you have received any type of W-2 in the past year or year and a half, you could try to qualify. You could try to apply for regular unemployment. But like I said, it might be a slim pickings, but worth a shot, I guess. Andrew says, will they tell us if our PUA is exhausted? And, oh wait, I just read that, right? But yeah, if they extend PUA or PEUC, I would hope that they would notify us either by email or mail or both and let us know next steps, right? Like, hey, you exhausted your benefits. You now qualify for X amount of weeks. This is how you proceed. And for those of you that are possibly waiting for something from unemployment in the mail, this is a cool little thing that I started doing. Most of the time it's annoying, but when you need it, it kind of helps. Is if you go to United States Postal Service website, you create an account, and what you can do is receive emails of the actual mail that you're receiving that day. And it's cool the way they do it, because you'll see the images of the letters that you're getting. And this way that if you see something from unemployment, you pay extra attention, to the mailbox that day, or maybe anything else. But it also tells you if like you're getting a package and stuff like that. So that's kind of cool. But it's kind of handy, because in the event that you see that you're receiving a letter, whether it's from unemployment or something important, birthday card perhaps, and after a couple of days you don't get that item, then you can contact the post office and be like, I saw this, I didn't get it, where is it, type of thing. So, but most of the time it's annoying, because most of the time it's just like junk mail anyway. Marcus says, so yeah, Joseph, I think I answered that question. Hopefully I answered it right. Marcus says, I'm positive they will pass the extension and the $300. I believe they will, totally. Melinda says, poor man's steak tonight, brown beans and fried taters. I know, man. Isn't it awful? Your Name Products. Why do they get to have long terms and don't retro help? No, totally. Do they actually think that we didn't have bills for those couple months? It's crazy. What happens it's getting to that time that I can't talk. What happens once we run out of Fed ED? Hopefully, Eric, I just answered that for, I forget who it was, but hopefully you heard that. Yeah. I think policymakers are playing with the needs and emotions of Americans. You said it. Yeah, Andrew, not quite sure how we would proceed if they extend that. I think I already answered that. But yeah, it'll be interesting. I'll definitely find out. Marcos, you're welcome. I'm glad that they help. And I'm sure once they do pass a bill, it's going to be confusing because it can't be easy, can it? How long do you think everyone will be on unemployment for? Do you think possibly the summer? I know Biden, I don't know if you were on, but Biden did talk about possibly extending it. If he had his way, he would look to extend it for the entire year of 2021. But obviously, we'll see what happens when he gets there. Kim says, what about Maryland? So the bill itself is looking, or Congress is looking to pass a bill that would extend PEUC and PUA in all states, not just Maryland, but in every state. So hopefully that helps. Norman says, been furlonged too long. Yeah, that's got to be annoying because it's almost like every week passes by and you don't know if you're going to have the same job. You don't even know if you should maybe start looking for a job. So I'm sure being furlonged is probably worse than just being unemployed, like laid off. I don't know. I don't want to. But yeah, that would definitely be annoying. Joyce says, if you exhaust state UI, you only get the federal boost. Actually, you would get the federal boost no matter what unemployment program that you are on. Kelly says, I'm on PUA. It ends on the 26th of December. My 39 weeks will not end till January 21st. Will I be able to get those payments? Unfortunately, not, which I know is horrible. Hopefully, Kelly, they will extend PUA and you won't need to worry about that. But that's a great question because I think a lot of people are in that situation. So yeah, unfortunately, no. John says, if this doesn't get passed, you have any idea what we can do? Because I'm one of those people that have nothing. John, I do feel that it will pass. It has to. I mean, have you, I don't mean you specifically, but have they seen the lines to just get food from the food banks, right? Like they have to pass something. And I'll just do a couple more. Yeah, Bernie said, yeah, right. I'm all for Bernie right now. Bernie said there's no reason, this is from Ryland. Bernie said there's no reason to cut our unemployment down, but the greedy rhinos are trying to do it. But Bernie's standing up to them. Man, that's what I'm hearing, and good for him. And Charity, I'm going to end with Charity, and then I'm going to get going here. But thank you, everyone, for being here. But Charity says, I know many people feel that if representatives hold the Senate, that there will not be further stimulus, but I'm not so sure of that. Both the Fed and the majority of economists say it is needed. Yeah, no, you're right. No matter if it's Democrats or Republicans that take control over the Senate. No, you're right. You have economists talking. You have everyone talking in Congress's ear about how bad things could get. Like, for those of us that were around 10 years ago, and this is so much worse than it was back then. And hopefully they learned their lesson. And I think, and you guys feel free to disagree with me on this, one thing that I think with Biden that is a good thing is he kind of went through this 10 years ago, being a vice president. Hopefully that's a good thing, because he would not make the same mistakes that were made back then. And I'm not saying that there were any mistakes, or whether there was or wasn't or whatever. You know that, I mean, in anything in life, right? Like, we all make mistakes. And I can't even imagine the pressure that they feel. You know, I'm sure back then there were they made some mistakes. That's just a reality of it. So hopefully he would then learn from them and then take care of things. So it is 7 o'clock. Thank you everyone for being here. I do these every single day, Monday through Friday, 6 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I might do them weekends too. I'm not sure yet. But, and then keep an eye out on my morning video. So thanks guys for being here. I appreciate you, and I'll see you tomorrow night.